What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. So I'm sitting on the couch trying to take a day off. I've seen Sonic 2, I had an awesome time. Someone hits me up, yo John, this is like the next Burning Abyss, but for level 2s, it's crazy, it's insane, you've got to react Andy. And I did read a couple of the cards, so I do have a bit of an inclination that this indeed is mental, but I have not read a lot of these cards. So getting into it, I've already seen Link 2 Thunders that summon themselves, have no restrictions on how the rest of your turn plays out, and are searchers, so I don't know what they're searching yet. But let's get into the cards I've seen, and then into the ones that I have not read. Splite Blue is a level 2 Dark Thunder effect monster that looks pretty darn aesthetic. I do like that look for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not the typical waifu or mech or weird mythological thing. This I can get behind for modern card design. It's attack 1100, defense 1100. You can only special summon with the first procedure of the card's name once per turn, and you can only use its second effect once per turn. A lot of them are going to read like that. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's XCs as well, going up that way. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Splite monster from your deck to the hand except Splite Blue, so you're going to continue to be able to extend your plays, and since he's already out, the next one's going to be able to come out too, and you're likely searching Splite Jet. Splite Jet is a level 2 Dark Thunder effect monster, attack 1300, defense 700. You can only special summon it once per turn, only use the second effect once per turn. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned, you can add a Splite Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. So a searcher that gets a searcher that's a body with, you looked at it, no restrictions on how your turn plays out so far, and I haven't read a card that does that yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there is something that locks you in further down, but so far, this can just be an engine all on its own, and for Pote, that is looking really good for this set already. This next one is Splite Pixies. It's a level 2 Dark Thunder effect monster. Also, attack 1400, defense 1400. You can only special summon it once per turn with the first procedure, second effect once per turn. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If another of your level, rank, or link 2 monsters, this is where things change a little, battle an opponent's monster during damage calc, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Your battling monster gains attack and defense equal to that opponent's monster's current attack until the end of this turn. So something that can force your opponent's negations or be able to do that, but in the battle phase, still a searchable tool that also gets itself out. So if they have a token or something, special this, attack, can still use effect from field. That's pretty darn cool. I love that kind of thing that comes in extra into grind states that people underestimate, but still kind of feels like a one-of. Now, this is the furthest I read, and the rest of the cards I have not yet. Splite Red is a level 2 Fire Thunder effect monster, attack 1200, defense 1800, and you can only special summon with the first procedure and can only use the second effect once per turn, but however it changes, if you control a level or link 2 instead of rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you contribute one other level, rank, or link 2 monster, negate the activation. Then if you tributed a rank or link 2 monster, you can destroy that monster. So if it's just a monster, well, you can negate the effect but not destroy. But if you did a link or rank, then you are allowed to also destroy. So this is on-demand negation for monster effects. We have Splite Carrot, haven't read this one yet, level 2 Fire Thunder effect monster, attack 1000, defense 1900. So bigger booties on these cards with less attack than some of the others. You can only special summon this with the first procedure and only use the second effect. This also is level or link 2 in this case, rather than rank 2 to special summon this card from your hand, being on the field. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect, quick effect, you contribute to one other level, rank, or link 2 monster, negate the activation, and if you tributed that rank or link 2, you can destroy the card also. I like that it's spell, trap card, or effect, so that also is going to be graveyard trap effects, giving pretty great coverage, and also not giving everything to one card for an Omni Negate. You have to pick or choose how you're building your field and what you're playing. This feels like a mix kind of, not to go to another Thunder archetype immediately, but like Watts and how you had to field control back in the day, but you had to rely on cards outside the Watt archetype. This kind of feels like that sort of control, but more so limited into the monsters than anything. And boy, do they get themselves out there. There's no restrictions so far within any of these cards, and it can be an engine all on its own from what I'm reading so far, but again, haven't read everything. Gigantic Splight is a rank 2 Dark Thunder Xyz monster, 1600, 2 level 2 monsters. For this card's Xyz summon, you can treat a Link 2 monster you control as a level 2. Let's just break the Link mechanic a little more. You can use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card has a fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and or Link as a material, its original attack is doubled. I wish it said doubled for each material, so you could like double and double again if you somehow got a fusion or something crazy, like different materials specifically, like not just 2 Link 2s or something, but that would have been kind of neat. During your main phase, you can... Neither player can special summon monsters the rest of the turn except level, rank, or link 2s. There it is, a little restriction. Also, detach a material from your Xyz monster, and if you do, special summon a level 2 monster from your deck. Search, Xyz, special from deck. Now you're locked, but that's if you're choosing to go this route within the engine specifically into Big Boy Monster also. And here's a Link 2 to put under him, maybe. And we have Splight Elf, a Link 2 Fire Thunder Link effect monster, attack 1400, bottom left, bottom right, so the optimal tokens, if you will, except for co-linking, the ones that go towards your zones. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn, cannot be used as Link material the turn it is Link summoned. So there is another restriction to stop you from going too ham. Your opponent cannot target cards this point 2 with card effects, so it has protection for your arrows. During the main phase quick effect, you can target 1 level 2 monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So more recursion / field throw up ability. If your opponent controls a monster, at activation you can target a rank or link 2 monster instead. Wow. So it doesn't rely, I like this, it does not rely on your opponent to play the game, but if your opponent already has a field, it goes, you know what? You get extra powers in this game state. That's kind of freaking wild. I do like that kind of look from Konami, acknowledging the dice roll matters and giving you a deck that can play first or second. Splight Starter is a quick play spell. You can activate 1 card with its name per turn. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this resolves, except, here's more restrictions, level, rank, link 2 monsters. Also, special summon a Splight monster from your deck, and if you do lose life points to the original attack, oh no, they're all pretty low in attack, and that's going to be a search right off and into a rank 2 immediately or link 2. That's interesting for the lock versus playing this maybe as a small engine. Splight Gamma Burst is a quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effects of the card name per turn, and only once that turn. Oh, you can only use one of them, and only once that turn. Okay, so you gotta pick and choose. All level, rank, link 2 monsters on the field gain 1400 attack and defense till the end of the turn. Well, that's some game-ending damage depending on how you flooded the field. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a level, rank, or link 2 monster. It gains 1400 until the end of the opponent's turn. So, this being in the grave, it's not a trap card, so you'll only be able to access it during your turn from the graveyard, unlike a trap. So you're going to have to wait a whole nother turn to pull it off. Still, extra value, bonus to have a graveyard effect, in my opinion, and gives much needed damage output to a deck, but I don't know how many you play. Also, Splight Smashers is a quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Banish a Spriggans, Therions, or Splight card from your graveyard to activate one of these effects, so this ties into lore. Special summon a Spriggans monster from the deck, special summon a Therion monster from your graveyard, banish 1 level, rank, link 2 monster you control in 1 card your opponent controls, non-targeting removal. How interesting. I do kind of think that's neat that they're trying to tie the decks together still and go through all of the lore decks. Maybe this is like the Battle Dome, the intergalactic thing the Therions are with. I think this is really neat. My mind's already racing on how to lab it. Immediately, I do see that it is engine-like. I get the comparison to Burning Abyss. They get themselves out of the hand, but instead of not being able to use the effect that turn, they're encouraged to use the effect that turn and also get extra effects based off of your opponent's field building or not thereof. This is neat. This is really cool. This is good modern card design, allowing cards to be good instead of the kind of drivel archetypes that we've been getting for the last year. Although, I gotta get it, Therions are coming, and you have side sets producing something here or there. Engine or deck, it can be played, but it seems a lot more successful to play as a deck and go with the restrictions mayhaps, depending on what is lab. This is neat. Finally, the really solid rank 2 engine that's not just known as totally awesome, looks like it's here. What do you guys think of the archetype? What do you think of everything? And with Thunder, I suppose Free Colossus is somewhere down in the comments section below. Don't necessarily disagree, and there are restrictions about levels and stuff. I guess you can only summon the level rank link to stuff depending on what you've done. Still interesting. Is that the rest of the turn, though? Is it, neither player can special summon the rest of this turn? Except, oh! That stops your opponent from the Nibiruing! What? Neither player! Nibiru proof, baby! Wow! I love figuring this stuff out during React, Andy. Sorry if I seem like a child toddler with a toy, but... Oh, nice! So restrict both players, huh? How interesting! This has a lot going for it. I think it's pretty neat. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And Pote, you're looking kind of nice, Power of the Elements.